welcome to Counsel today with Shanrae, and I am Shanrae. Okay, I'm working multiple devices this evening. We are on week 2 of Counsel today with Shanrae. It's Dare to Dream. This week's subtopic is a new skill. A new skill. Excuse me, I'm working multiple devices, so I'm trying to like and share as I come in. Not really seeing. I'm trying to see if I'm on Facebook or not. I'm trying to see this so I can share it. I don't see it yet, as of yet, but we're gonna go on and get started. We're gonna go on and get started. Wow, this is weird. It's not even popping in yet. Hold on, let me see if it's showing somewhere else because I might have to go out and start all over again. I hope not, but I'm not really seeing. Hold on, let's see. I think my signal may be a little low in my house, so I don't know if somebody can tell me what you're seeing on your end. If not, I'm gonna have to go out and come back in, and we'll go from there, I guess. If you're on, somebody let me know what you're seeing. Let me see. I'm gonna check my other places. I'm on Twitter and I'm on YouTube as well. And so let's see. It says I'm live. Okay, okay. I see me on YouTube. All right, so I'm on YouTube. Let me see if I'm on Twitter. Okay, let's check Twitter. And if so, we're just gonna keep it moving. Let's see. All right, I'm trying to see if I'm on Twitter too. Let's see. And then we're gonna keep it moving. I'm excited for this month. I'm on Twitter, but I don't see me on. Okay. All right. Let's see what's happening here with Facebook. And if not, we're gonna keep it pushing. All right. Ah, okay. Something weird is going on tonight. Let's see if I'm on here. Is this and that? Am I on? Yes, I am. Okay, well, I'm gonna keep it moving. It's so good to see you all. I'm sorry, I may not be able to see you all in the comments with Facebook because my something is going on. I can't see it on my end with my other my phone, my cell phone. But if it pops in, I will be able to see your comments and I'll be able um to at least communicate. Okay, I see you. I see you all now. All right, here we go. Let me open this up. Okay, so let's get started. This 30 minutes is gonna come and go very, 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 very quickly. All right, and I think I've already wasted about 4 or 5 minutes right now trying to look at some things. But okay, let's start with this. And I am a degree counselor, and I've acquired my dual degrees, my dual Bachelor's of Science degrees from Ashford University. I have one in organizational management, and my main degree is in psychology. My great passion is bringing healing to people who have been through a traumatic and stressful experience. So when human beings experience trauma or severe life stressors, it is not uncommon for their lives to unravel. I help my clients, who include children, adults, and families, to find healthy perceptions of themselves and to strengthen their relationships so they can know themselves as peaceful, complete, whole, and safe. All right, so let's move this along. I'm going to do my website disclaimer. All right, here we go. Excuse me. All right. Ooh, this is acting up tonight. Uh-oh. Got my bio. All right. So I'm going to move on to my website disclaimer. Please be advised, or please be aware that due to the nature of the technology that I'm using, that there can be no assurance of confidentiality when using this online service. It should also be noted that due to changes in policies, that all replies are to be used as advisory and informational only and will not constitute an official determination. Information provided by myself or other counselors or counseling services are subject to the limitations of current and available material, but the final responsibility lies with you, the individual, for successfully achieving a goal. Information online is designed to be helpful. However, this information does change frequently, and it is recommended that you consult another physician, another specialist, and or religious leader to aid you in your overall behavioral wellness. All right. Good evening, everybody. This is an open forum. If you have any questions or you have any life scenarios that you don't mind sharing, I will pause and I will give highlight to whatever you choose to discuss this evening. This week, our topic for the month is Dare to Dream. This week's subtopic is a new skill. Now, in the back, you can kind of see in the back. I'm gonna let me magnify this a little bit. And I whatever I talk about, I don't like to just say it just to be saying it. I also practice what I speak. So if you can see in the back, you can see a crocheted two-piece bathing suit. I crochet this by hand. I crochet this and it's custom made. And I sell my products. I also purchased, as you can see, a sewing machine. I have always wanted to sew. And it took me a half a century. It took me this long to get up enough courage to buy a sewing machine. So I'm going to start practicing and start teaching myself or learning how to sew, and just start applying it to my life. I've always had a desire, always wanted to learn how to sew. With me being a plus size person, clothes, especially growing up, clothes were not the easiest to find, especially for my body shape. And so I always wanted to learn how to sew because sewing, I figured if I can sew for my body, that would just eliminate a lot of the issues that I would have going into the stores trying to find something that would fit me, and fit me well. But now they have such great places where they really do cater to plus size people. But I still want to know how to sew. And so I finally got up enough courage to get a sewing machine, first sewing machine ever in my whole life. And I'm going to start working on this new skill, teaching myself, learning how to sew. All right. So I am a Christian counselor, as most of you all know. And let me magnify this just a little bit. All right. My scripture for the month is Deuteronomy 31:6. And it says, "Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or terrified because of them, for the Lord your God goes with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you." And that's the scripture for this month. Be strong and courageous. Step out on faith. Do this. All right. So let's move this along because this 30 minutes is going to go by real quick. All right. So our definitions that I chose, let me open this up a little bit and then I'll close it back. Definitions for this week I wanted to talk about was change and craft. I gave you all the definition last week of change. And let's talk about craft. Craft, the definition says an activity involving skill in making things by hand. All right, so let's move this on. That's the definition that I chose for craft. All right, so our key points for this tonight is number one, understand the process of change. Number two, the trans theoretical model of behavior change. Number three is the five stages of change. Number four is the process of change as a spiral. Number six is meeting people where they are. And of course, our takeaway and our quote. All right, so let's open this up just a little bit so you can see understanding the process of change. Change is a spiraling process rather than a singular event. And this study is by Amanda L. Gordiano. Amanda L. Gordiano. Okay, so change. It says, wouldn't it be wonderful if change happened in an instant? That would be awesome. Wouldn't it be a great to wake up in the morning and think, I want to start eating better? And then we do it, or we decide that I'm going to stop smoking and then never pick up another cigarette ever. But we all know that that's not how change works. It isn't a one-time event or a singular action, but instead it is a process. Change is a process. And the more that we understand the process of change, the more that we can empathize, support, and demonstrate compassion for ourselves first, and then for those around us who seek to alter their behaviors. And so, again, the question is, what is the process of change? All right, so let's talk about, and let me open this up. so y'all can see the transmeritical mode of behavior change. All right. So it says that the transmeritical model, or the TTM, also commonly referred to as the stages of change model, provides us with an understanding of how change occurs, um, and developed in which was developed in the early 80s out of research with former smoker Prochaska and De Clemente found that individuals who successfully make changes go through a series of stages over the time. So these are two theorists, Prochaska and De Clemente. All right. And so, in contrast to the assumption that changes begin with behavior modification, Prochaska and De Clemente discovered several several stages prior to taking the action of change. So let's talk about the 5 stages of change right now. Okay, let's move this along. Let's begin with the 5 stages of change. All right. The first stage of change, of the change process, is marked by a lack of awareness of a problem. Okay, so most people don't realize that there's a problem until it's pointed out to them. So this is known as the pre-contemplation stage, and this is when individuals fail to see their behavior as an issue. Okay, most people they're gonna fight. They're gonna say, "Nah, that's not it. The issue is you. It ain't me." You know, that's the most famous thing to say. I ain't the issue. You the issue. Okay. So others in their life may be telling them that they need to change, but they don't agree and they have no intentions of making a change within the next 6 months at all. So a person in pre-contemplation may say that it's not my drinking that needs to change. It's my job that's causing all of the problems. Okay, that's an example. Pre-contemplation is also a common starting place for many people who embark upon the journey of change. Okay, so you're going to pre-contemplate what's this. All right, so let's move on to the second stage of change. And I'm going to open this up so y'all can see it. And then I'm going to close it back out. The second stage of change. The second stage of change, it now is contemplation. Now they're going to contemplate. And it's when an individual becomes aware of their problem, but they're ambivalent about making a change. So they're still saying, okay, I have a problem. So what, everybody has problems. All right. So they perceive the pros and the cons of changing as approximately equal, as thus having not committed to changing at all. They may be considering making a change in the next 6 months, but currently they're not ready to act on making any changes at all. So a person that's in the contemplation stage, they may say that I know I need to eat better, but it's so expensive to buy fruit and vegetables. So I don't know how I'm going to work this out and begin to start making a change. The contemplation stages also are marked by ambivalence, and people can get stuck in this stage for months or even years at a time. So you got the first stage was the pre-contemplation. Then you have the second stage, which is the actual contemplation stage. Okay, the first stage, pre-contemplation, it ain't my fault. It's everybody else's fault. It's them. Second stage, contemplation, is okay, yeah, I got an issue, but who don't? Okay, that's the contemplation stage. Let's move on to the third stage. All right. And let's open this up so y'all can see it. Stage 3. The third stage says is of change. It's called preparation. So the third stage is now preparation, and this is characterized by making a commitment to change. All right. So the individual then intends to take action within the next month and may already be making small changes. For example, reducing their pornography usage. A person in preparation may say that I'm ready to stop smoking. I've already purchased a nicotine patch and I haven't bought any more cigarettes. So individuals that's in the preparation stage are on the brink of taking action now. So the first stage was pre-contemplation. You don't know what's going on. I don't know what to talk about. It ain't me. It's everybody else. Second stage is contemplation. All right, I got a problem. All right. So who don't have a problem? But you're not ready to change. Now the third stage is preparation. All right, let me go on and start making the changes now. Let me start preparing the change. All right. So let's move on to the fourth stage now. so we can see how this is going. Stage number 4. All right. So stage number 4 says, after the preparation stage comes the action stage. Oh, so here come action. That's number 4 out of 5. Action starts to happen at stage 4 of 5 stages. All right. All right. So in which individuals start modifying their problem behaviors and start to make the changes. So in this stage, stage 4, there is a strong commitment to change. And the change is then intentional. For example, self-directed, rather than imposed by others or the environment. All right. So a person in action may say that I did it. I filled my prescription for Depakote, and I've been taking it consistently out of Depakote. I don't know what that medicine is, but they're giving an example that I filled my prescription for nicotine, a nicotine reducer, and I'm taking it consistently for the past week. The action stage lasts for approximately 6 months, okay, as the new behavior modifications are being solidified. So again, we're on stage 4, which is the action stage. And it says that most people will do this action stage for 6 months, okay? As you start getting used to the behavior modification. Hi, Helen, how you doing? It's good to see you. Hey, Leisha, good to see you. Okay, so first stage again is pre-contemplation. That's where you don't know what's going on. You don't know what if you that you have an issue or not. Although people might be saying that you're saying that you don't see it, you don't realize it. Second stage is the contemplation stage. Okay, now I realize I do have an issue. I got a problem, but who don't? You still not ready to change. Third stage is preparation. You know what? Maybe I need to start looking into some things because now I'm seeing where it is an issue. I need to maybe go on and start preparing to change. All right. Fourth stage is now action. You're putting the action in, you're doing it. They said this type of stage here, action, it lasts for 6 months. 6 months. Let's move to the fifth stage. Okay. And trust me, everybody goes through these 5 stages when it comes to, it doesn't matter, whatever, when it comes to change, everybody goes through these stages. Okay. It doesn't matter how big or small of a change that you're trying to make in your life. Everyone goes through these stages here. Okay, so let's see what number 5 is. The fifth and the final stage. So finally, the fifth stage of change is maintenance. So in which individuals sustain their behavioral change indefinitely. So during this stage, the focus is on avoiding relapsing or relapses and fully integrating the behavioral changes into their lives. Okay. So a person in a maintenance stage may say, well, it's been almost a year since I last used cocaine. I've learned how to control cravings and find support when I need it. But in the maintenance stage, individuals learn to sustain their behavior change through various seasons of life. So you can years and years and years. Let me give you a perfect example of maintenance. Okay, so I'm gonna build the whole picture when it comes to the 5 stages. Which I have to eliminate the stage number 1 for me, which was the pre-contemplation, because I'm going to talk about my weight. I've always been big. Helen is on here. Helen knows that. My cousin Alicia is on it. Alicia knows that some people are just born big boned. I was one of them. Born big boned. I don't know what it is to be skinny. I've never been skinny in my life. So I've always been big. Okay, but I desired when my weight topped at almost 500 pounds. It was before this. I was always on a weight loss journey trying to lose weight. Could never lose more than 30 pounds at a time. I don't care if I was on a heart patient's diet, the cabbage diet. I tried it all. So I then wanted to, Alicia said me too. I then decided I wanted to research. This was almost 20 years ago. I wanted to look into the gastric bypass surgery years ago. And so I moved on to the contemplation stage, started doing my research. Of course, people want to give you all of the cons, the cons of everything. No, don't do it. People are dying. This and the other. Okay, I still looked into it for myself. I needed to know for myself how this surgery maybe would help me and help me reduce weight and stay at a healthier weight. So then I moved from the contemplation stage into the preparation stage. That's stage 3. So I started calling a doctor, starting to see what it took, see if my insurance was compatible, if they would support it, what would be my percentage of getting the surgery, how long it would took. Well, back then when I got the surgery, we had to go through a year of training before we can get approved for the surgery. You might have been able to go through it for 6 months. If they saw that you were a great candidate, it may have only taken 6 months. It took me about 6 months to 6 to 7 months before they approved me for it. So everything started lining up. That's my preparation stage. Then the action stage came. I got the surgery done. Then they said, now even with the surgery, that's not a miracle. You still got to do your part. You got to do your part. So through the preparation stages, I had to learn how to retrain my eating patterns. I had to learn a lot of different things. I had to learn how to eat 3 meals a day. That was the preparation stages for me. Because I grew up kind of very impoverished. So we basically just really ate one meal. That's how I grew up, and that was in the evening. I had to learn how to eat 3 meals, 3 small meals during my preparation stages. Now I'm jumping to the action. Had the surgery. I had all of this in place. It took me six to 8 months for me to lose almost 300 pounds, about 300 pounds. And I lost it. Now, stage number 5, the maintenance stage. The challenge was because I understood. Leisha said, yes, it took some time. Yes, it did, Leisha. So the maintenance stage, they said, okay, a year later now you can start picking that weight back up. If you don't, if you start going back to your old ways. I started noticing and seeing people who had the surgery around the same time as me. They started picking up weight. My thing is, I was gonna make sure that that was not gonna happen with me. Now, maintenance stage. 17 years later, here I am. I have picked up some weight in the last 17 years, but a lot of it had to do with I had to get on medicinal steroids, because I was diagnosed with an autoimmune disorder about 6 years ago. So the steroids, I had to use those to save my life. So the steroids, I took them for a number of years. And it packed on about 50 pounds on me. And I've been going back and forth trying to get the 50 pounds off. But I can tell you one thing, I was almost 500 pounds, right there at 500 pounds 17 years ago. And thank God I haven't seen that weight. It's been 22 years for you, Leisha. Yeah, it's been 17, 18 years for me, right? And thank God we haven't put that weight back on, because the maintenance, even to this day, I'm very, very conscious of this maintenance stage, that fifth and final stage, the maintenance. It has been 17, 18 years for me. For my cousin Leisha, it's been 22 years for her since she had the surgery. I'm telling you, and change. This here, we both can tell you that change can happen. It can happen. You can stay on the better road for you, with change. That maintenance stage can be lifelong, changing for the better for you. So let's move on to now. It says the process of change as a spiral. Um, as a spiral. Let's move this along because our time is moving along very quickly. The process of change as a spiral. Let me magnify that. All right. And so it says, although that the 5 stages of change sound like a natural forward progression, this often is not the case. Anyone who has made a New Year's resolution, and y'all know I've been talking about these New Year's resolutions, we're not going to do the resolutions. We're going to do the New Year realities with this, and we're going to do it in a good way. Okay, so anyone who has made a New Year's resolution that's lasted until February knows that relapse or the return to prior behavior patterns is the rule rather than the exception. So the TTM recognizes that recycling through stages is likely before individuals reach their sustained maintenance proportion or their stage. So thus the change process is better understood as a spiral rather than a straight line. So, a spiral. It's going to spiral. It's going to spiral. So, in addition, individuals can spend varying amounts of time in each stage. Thus, the process of change looks different for different people. Change for you is different than change for me. Okay. So, when conceptualizing change as a process, the goal is for an individual to move from whatever stage that they currently find themselves in, example, contemplation, to the next stage, for an example, preparation. In this way, people can then acknowledge and affirm the smaller steps leading up to change, example, moving from one stage to the next, rather than waiting for the maintenance stage to celebrate. So that, in other words, you need to celebrate each stage that you have transitioned to or moved from. Celebrate every step that you take. Celebrate. Let me move this on to the next one. We're moving to meeting people where they are. Okay, and that's the goal in life. Period. Meeting people where they are. Okay, so the genius of the TTM is the acknowledgement that people in one stage of change are addressing different tasks than those that are in another stage. For example, a person in the pre-contemplation stage, that's stage number one, they benefit from gaining insight, information, and feedback to raise awareness about their problem behavior, while a person in the contemplation benefits from exploring the impact of their behavior on others, examining their emotions, and working through ambivalence. All right. So the person that's in the preparation stage benefits from creating an action plan and troubleshooting, while a person in an action stage benefits from restructuring their environment to avoiding triggers and then implementing replacement behaviors. Finally, a person in the maintenance benefit stages benefits from the relapse and prevention, which you're gonna find a way to prevent relapses, and prevention strategies, and an increasing overall wellness. Now, when I was in the maintenance stage, and I still am in the maintenance stages of my weight loss journey. I'm not skinny. By no means, I'm not skinny. But when I made the choice 17, 18 years ago to have the gastric bypass surgery, that was to save my life. Because I was almost 500 pounds. And I knew that if as I got older, my weight probably I was gonna keep going up the scale. I may not be able to be as active as I was then. I was very active, even though I was that heavy. I was still very active. I didn't want to get to the point to where I wouldn't be able to be active. I did not want to be housebound. I didn't want to be wheelchair bound. So I made a conscious decision that I was going to do this not just for me, but also for my family, so they can see that you can conquer any challenge in your life. And weight loss is a major challenge for most people. Again, it's still something that is very, very conscious in my, and I try my best to fight for against relapses. Again, the gastric bypass is just a tool. You can have it and still gain all your weight back. I know Leisha is on here. She can tell you because she understands that. Determination. Helen says determination. Yes. Now that is a very intricate key. Being determined. I'm steadfast. I'm determined. My mind is not going to be changed. I'm determined. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do. And you don't even have to be a strong individual to be determined. Somebody told me a long time ago that there's no such thing as a weakness, and I was like, yes, it is. And they said no. Either you're gonna fight to stay in a bad place that you're in, or you're gonna use that same fight to change and move into a better place for you. And when this person told me this, Miss B, Sharon Benjamin, she was my former pastor's wife years ago. Andre 3000's mom from Outcast. I was very close to her years ago. And she said to me years and years ago, we were having a conversation, and I said, everybody's not strong. I was saying to her, and she said, that's not true. She said, yes, everybody is strong. You're either going to be strong enough to stay in the predicament that you're in and just stay there, or you're going to take that same strength and move it over into to where you can get into a better place. And from that day on, when she said that to me over 20 years ago, I have taken that bit of advice and shared it and ran with it. It's everybody is strong. It's up to you where you're going to put your strength. Are you going to keep fighting to stay in the place that you're in, which may not be as a productive place as that's beneficial for you? Or if you're going to take that same strength and move it over into becoming the person that you've always dreamed to be, dare to dream, that you always dreamed to be, and the place and the person to be. All right. So it says that as we learn to conceptualize change as a process, we can identify an individual's current stage or of change, meet them where they are, and then help them attend to their current needs. Reaching sustained behavioral change is a journey. Excuse me. It is a journey, and the more that we know about the process, the more that we can support one another along the way. Now, I'm going to give you something right here. There's something that excuse me, her name, Dr. Amanda Giordano, I'm not gonna say her last name, Dr. Amanda stated here. She said that we can meet people where they are and help them attend to their current needs. Okay, now this is a catch-22 with this. Helen said the choice is yours. Yes, it is, Helen. Yes, it is. You'll know if someone genuinely wants help, wants to change, and if they want help, if you can assist somebody with change, or if the person just wants you to do it for them. And then you become their crutch, and you have to kind of decipher. You have to kind of decipher the person. You got to look at their behavior. You got to look at their intentions. You have to. So when you go to help somebody who says that they want to change, you have to first make sure that they really want to change, and if they're willing to take the steps to change, or do they want you to do everything for them while they stay back and they continue to be how they are. And so once you determine the person's intentions, then if you're going to help somebody, or you decide not to move out of the way or whatever, just look at the intentions of the person. And yes, change happens in stages, but it shouldn't take 30 years for a person to change. It shouldn't take 20 years for a person to change. It shouldn't take 10, 15 years for a person to change. Change is progressive, but change doesn't take that long. So you have to also look at the intentions of a person. So a lot of people are very manipulative. And when it comes to certain things, people are very manipulative. And if they can find somebody else to do it for them, then then they have no reason to change at all. So these here sessions are about really for self-reflection. It's about changing. And I'm going to move into tomorrow night. I'm going to move into about building up a new skill. Let me show you this real quick before we end, because our time is moving. I want to show you this. I wanted y'all to see this. So we're talking about learning a new skill. I purchased a sewing machine last week because I have always wanted to know how to sew my entire life. And I finally got enough courage to purchase a sewing machine, because I can't teach something about learning a new skill and then I don't practice it myself. So when I come to the end of this month of our sessions, I should be able to show you something that I learned on a tutorial, learned how to do on my sewing machine. So I did it first. I stepped out on faith. I purchased a brand new, this is a beginner sewing machine, a Brothers sewing machine. I've always wanted to learn how to sew my entire life. I finally got a sewing machine, and y'all gonna see towards the end of the month something that I've sewn on this machine myself. I went out of my wardrobe, and how I'm gonna do the before and after, show you the before and after, how things look before. So I'm not just saying it. I'm practicing what I'm teaching. Okay, I purchased a sewing. As y'all know, I crochet and I knit. This is some of the things that I do by hand. This is an outfit that I've sewn, excuse me, that I've crocheted, and I sell them. This is a two-piece bathing suit here. I have other things that I do with crocheting and knitting, but I want to add sewing to my skill set. I want to add sewing to it. So I wanted to show y'all. I purchased a sewing machine. I am going to learn this, and y'all going to see it before excuse me, before the end of the month, that I actually practiced what I preach. Alicia said, I got this. She said, I saw that in the background. Right. So let's move this along. Okay. So I'm going to do part 2 tomorrow night. I'm going to break it down a little bit more about learning a new skill. I'm going to actually just talk about different skills that we can learn as adults. Something that we can step out and just try to do. It's not that time consuming, but it's something that we can do. Let me open this up. My takeaway for tonight says that change will not come if we wait for some other person or some other time. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the change that we seek. And this is by our president, Barack Obama. He's the one who said it. Okay. I love that quote right there. He said, change will not come if we wait for some other person or some other time. We're the ones we've been waiting for, and we are the change that we seek. Okay. And that's by Barack Obama himself. Let me leave you with this quote right here. And let me open this up just a little bit. It says, the measure of intelligence is the ability to change. And that's by Albert Einstein. The measure of intelligence is the ability to change, by Albert Einstein. Okay. And so people have been talking about change and doing different things for years and years and years. It's just up to us. It's up to us if we want to do it. Okay. Let me open this really quick. This is my theory website reference page. This is where I've gotten my teachings from for those that are interested, and those for your fellow my fellow counselors and psychologists. This is where I got my references from. All right, let me move this along. Okay, if there's a past counsel of the day with Shanrae a series that you missed or you just want to rewatch, you can go to my YouTube channel at Shanrae Price. Please subscribe and select any past series that you would like to see. Select them. All right, I am a professional one-on-one counselor. And if you're interested in professional one-on-one counseling services, feel free to contact me via Facebook Messenger at Shanrae Owens or via my email at shanrae.price@gmail.com. I'm a lifestyle strategist, and my aim is to aid you in your life's goals and your life's dreams. Okay, guys, I will see y'all for part 2 tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to go through a series of different skills, new skills that we can maybe pick up and learn and do. But y'all have a wonderful evening. Thank you for your participation tonight. Thank you for being on with Counsel Today with Shanrae. I certainly appreciate y'all. Have a blessed night. I'm glad you was able to join too, Leisha. Y'all have a blessed night, and I'll see y'all tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Good night. Bye-bye.